Trump just did it to over 100,000 people today. This is massive. Riots are about to erupt. America threw him a fastball and President Trump knocked it out of the park for an economic grand slam. That's right, folks. This game is over and Donald Trump's first year as President of the United States just ended with a significant victory for citizens. Major companies have jumped in to support their employees, and over 100,000 hard-working Americans just got an excellent early Christmas present right after the GOP tax bill passed. The companies involved have turned their future tax savings into investments into their business and their workers by dishing out pay raises and bonuses like people haven't ever seen before. AT&T responded to tax reform and announced wonderful bonuses to over 200,000 U.S. employees as soon as the tax reform legislation is an official law. AT&T also expanded their capital budget by $1 billion to be spent in the United States. The employees are also union members, which is huge news for Democrats as they're very supportive of unionized workers. CNBC reports. Telecom giant AT&T was quick to respond to news of U.S. tax reform, announcing it would give some employees bonuses once the legislation is signed into law. Telecom giant AT&T was quick to respond to news of U.S. tax reform, announcing it would give some employees bonuses once the legislation is signed into law. AT&T said in a press release Wednesday that it would give more than 200,000 of its U.S. workers who are union members a special bonus of $1,000. The company also increased its capital expenditures budget by $1 billion in the U.S. Congress, working closely with the president, took a monumental step to bring taxes paid by U.S. businesses in line with the rest of the industrialized world, CEO Randall Stephenson said in a statement. This tax reform will drive economic growth and create good-paying jobs. In fact, we will increase our U.S. investment and pay a special bonus to our U.S. employees. Another massive corporation, Fifth Third Bancorp, will reportedly pay a bonus to over 13,500 employees. Fifth Third Bancorp will also raise the minimum wage to $15 per hour once the GOP tax plan is official. Fifth Third Bancorp will pay more than 13,500 employees a bonus and raise the minimum wage of its workforce to $15 an hour after the passage of the Republican tax plan that will cut the bank's corporate tax rate. Wells Fargo announced they're making some changes as well. The changes come as a bright light after the dark light they were previously in with some incidents that cast a shadow over Wells Fargo. They've announced they're also raising their minimum wage to $15 per hour for employees. To top it off, the Boeing company made a big announcement as well. They posted this tweet to alert their followers of the positive changes in their company. Breitbart later reported more details on the great announcement from Boeing. Breitbart listed the details of the expected changes. On behalf of all of our stakeholders, we applaud and thank Congress and the administration for their leadership in seizing this opportunity to unleash economic energy in the United States, Boeing CEO Dennis Muilenburg said in a press release. It's the single most important thing we can do to drive innovation, support quality jobs and accelerate capital investment in our country. $100 million for corporate giving, with funds used to support demand for employee gift match programs and investments in Boeing's focus areas for charitable giving, in education, and our communities, and for veterans and military personnel. $100 million for workforce development in the form of training, education, and other capabilities development to meet the scale needed for rapidly evolving technologies and expanding markets. $100 million for Workplace of the Future facilities and infrastructure enhancements for Boeing employees. Boeing is stating they're giving away $100 million in donations to various programs and the veteran part is especially helpful. Boeing will spend $100 million on workforce-related improvements and investments into their employees and another $100 million to make enhancements for the employees. It sounds like Boeing is going to be a fantastic place for people to work. Many Democrats and far-left liberals have gone into a frenzy over the GOP tax plan. The number of illogical arguments and insulting words towards Republicans has been nothing less than a significant meltdown and mental riots across social media. The left has done and said everything they can to convince American citizens that tax cuts are a bad thing. The left mentions adding a few bucks to the deficit, but fail to suggest that the addition of the debt will be filled by growing the economy by only 3%. If America can't build its economy by that small amount, then we need to work a lot harder. From what we've seen of major companies and their reactions to tax breaks, they're already dumping part of their tax breaks back into their employees, business, and donations. The online social media mental riots coming from liberals and moderate Democrats needs to be tempered by sharing facts and showing them the evidence of the economy rising. It seems like they were against growth and success because it renders them successful. Successful people can't play the victim card as well. It's a shame the left won't recognize when a good job has been done and the American people are happy. Unfortunately, the Democrat meltdowns and social media riots have been of epic proportion. They just don't get it. Shamefully, Republicans were cheering against the children as they rob from their future and ransack the middle class to reward the rich.